let's talk Spygate. There was a tweet from Henry Winter saying Marcelo Bielsa is a great coach with many disciples amongst modern managers, but sending spies to opposition training shows a complete lack of respect for his peers. The LMA needs to respond to this, let alone the FA and the EFL. Meanwhile, Michael Owen has a different take, as he often does. Can't help but think people are getting slightly carried away with Bielsa sending someone to watch an opponent's training session. It's been happening for years. While I accept it's morally wrong, it's hardly a criminal offence.
Totally agree.
Do you?
Yeah. Listen, you said it, we was in a Winnebago earlier, and Chris said it, I'm nicking it. But he said, you look at Champions League games, Europa League games, etc., you always train at a stadium.
Yeah.
Always leave someone within the stadium to have a little look and see what's going on, what formations they're playing, set up some set pieces, etc. That's part of it. Yes, morally might not be fit, but it's not illegal.
I was assistant coach in Tampa. The team we was playing were training on the pitch, and we sent one of our assistant coaches to hide in a car park to see what they were doing. I just think, no,
it's disgraceful.
Teams done it to us.
It's morally wrong.
Teams done it to us. But I'm saying, in our culture, it's not wrong. But in America, in that culture, it was happening all the time. And in Argentina, it was happening all the time. So I feel for him a little bit because he might not know that we don't accept that in this country.
I don't think it's a sportsman-like or a morally right thing to do, whether you're in Argentina, America or the UK.
That's what they do.
You look for advantages, don't you? You look for advantages in...
Yeah, of course, but that's cheating.
It's not cheating, is it? Diving's worse.
It might be worse, but it doesn't make this right.
I'm not saying it's
Does
right.
it?
He definitely. I reckon he's sat in his office and he said to someone, "Is it illegal to send someone to go and look at their estate?" They've looked in the rule books. It's not illegal. We'll do it then.
But in Argentina, isn't it something that they all do?
Yeah.
So I don't think you could. No, but like that's what we heard. Like he was saying, it's something that's normal.
Said it, didn't he?
So if you don't do it, you're at disadvantage.
Being in a different country, I think that you have to understand the culture you're coming into.
But you can't really. I don't think.
I'm sure he's read the FA rule book about the rules.
Is it in the rules that you're not allowed to?
The only rule is quite ambiguous, and basically it falls under unsportsmanlike conduct or treating your opponents with respect. That's where there's an issue. Like Derby are absolutely furious. You know, we're talking here about a title race situation, and Derby are pushing for that top two. It could make a difference in a bit. So how is a training ground not a sacred place? You've got to be able to work on your tactics without your opponent seeing it. No?
Did you think when we used to play European games and that, did you think that people were staying and watching?
Yeah, 100%.
We just always assumed it was happening.
That's different though, isn't it? Because it's on neutral ground. You kind of know there are people knocking around the stadium. You don't know who they are. At your training ground, the day before,
that's what was happening at Tampa. They were training at our training ground.
He's backtracking.
They had done it.
He's backtracking.
Don't backtrack.
They had done it to us.
Fine, yeah, but this is different, right?
Two wrongs don't make a right, John.
All right, yeah.
Okay, it's not in a court of law and say, I did that, but so did someone else. So are you going to let me off as well?
Yeah. No, I think you saw Frank's interview yesterday, and listen, you can see that he was gutted with it, and that he felt that respect levels were maybe weren't where they should be. I just think it's a different culture, and I think for this one you give him the benefit of the doubt. And I just think that if it happens again, he knows where he stands, and there should be a huge punishment.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Like now, little slap on the wrist. Look, we don't do that over.
Still backtracking.
Leeds are going to deal with it, aren't they?
Yeah,
they have. They've said they're going to speak.
Don't do it again. I mean, brilliant.
They've said sorry, even if Bielsa hasn't yet.
There was talk of points deduction. People say, "Come on, diving's far worse. Diving is cheating." That's not cheating. That's a bit naughty trying to gain an advantage.
But then if you're Derby at the end of the season and you've been beaten twice by Leeds and you were 4 points off it.
If they saw him, why not get the kit man out to...
You thought it was all right at the start of the conversation.
I'm just being devil's advocate.
Love it.
Again. All right, I'm doing your job.
Could you not do that?